Hello and welcome to Early Years Unfolded. I'm so excited you're here with us today. In this training, we're diving into a very special time in a child's life, the incredible developmental milestones between 1 and 2 years old. During this stage, toddlers experience huge leaps in movement, communication, thinking, and social skills. They're learning to walk, talk, explore, and connect with the world around them in new and exciting ways. Our goal today is to help you understand typical milestones during this important year, recognize signs that might signal a need for extra support, and explore simple ways to encourage your toddler's healthy growth every day. We believe that when parents and caregivers have the right knowledge, they can feel more confident and better support their child's journey one step, one word, and one wonder at a time. Thank you for choosing to be part of Early Years Unfolded. Let's get started. The purpose of this training is to build awareness and understanding around the important developmental milestones children typically reach between 1 and 2 years old. We'll explore what typical growth looks like during this stage, how to recognize early signs that a child might need extra support, and how to use developmentally appropriate practices to guide their learning and development. By the end of this training, you'll feel more confident in supporting toddlers' physical, social-emotional, language, and cognitive growth, and in helping parents and caregivers feel empowered in their important role. Before we get started, let's take a moment to review what you'll walk away with from today's training. First, you'll be able to identify key developmental milestones for 1 to 2-year-olds, understanding what typical growth looks like during this exciting stage. Second, you'll learn how to recognize patterns in growth and notice how different areas of development connect and build on each other. Third, you'll know when to seek support, spotting early signs that may suggest a child needs a little extra help. Finally, you'll discover ways to use everyday activities to support learning, making it easy to weave meaningful learning opportunities into routines like playtime, mealtime, and story time. Our goal is to keep it practical, clear, and empowering, giving you tools you can use right away. Physical development. Gross motor skills. Most children begin walking independently by around 15 months and become much steadier on their feet during this year. By 18 months, toddlers typically walk without needing to hold on to anyone, climb onto and off low furniture, and even start running between 18 to 24 months. They can also squat to pick up objects and pull themselves upstairs with support. By age 2, many toddlers can kick a ball and attempt to jump. Fine motor skills. As their larger movements become more confident, toddlers also develop greater control over their hands and fingers. By 15 to 18 months, many children can scribble on paper with a crayon, stack 2 or 3 blocks, self-feed with their fingers, and begin using toddler-sized spoons and forks. Those spills are still common. By around 2 years old, toddlers can turn pages in a book one at a time, build a tower of 4 to 6 blocks, and start helping with dressing tasks like pushing their arm through a sleeve. Cognitive development. Around this time, toddlers between 12 to 24 months are like little scientists, using trial and error to explore how the world works. By about 18 months, many children begin to imitate everyday actions, such as pretending to sweep with a toy broom. They can also follow simple one-step instructions without needing gestures. During this stage, toddlers start simple problem-solving activities, like trying different ways to fit shapes into a sorter. By age 2, their play becomes more complex, such as placing multiple pieces of toy food onto a toy plate instead of handling one item at a time. Language development. Language begins to blossom during this stage, with toddlers' vocabularies growing to over 50 words. They start combining words into simple phrases like more juice or daddy go and can follow basic instructions. Communication skills grow dramatically. While most 1-year-olds may begin with just a few words, by 18 months, many toddlers are trying to say several words beyond mama and dada. By age 2, they typically string 2 words together and understand much more than they can express. Toddlers can point to familiar people or body parts when asked questions like, "Where's your nose?" and often use gestures such as nodding to help communicate. Social-emotional development is how children learn to understand their own feelings, relate to others, and build healthy relationships. It helps them express emotions, make friends, share, take turns, and solve problems in positive ways. By around 18 months, a child may begin to explore independently but often looks back to make sure a trusted adult is still nearby. They engage in parallel play, playing near other children without directly interacting yet. Empathy also begins to emerge around age 2 as toddlers start noticing when others are upset. For example, they might pause or look sad if another child is crying. Emotionally, toddlers between 1 to 2 years old often experience frustration and tantrums as they are just learning how to handle big feelings. Support from familiar adults and predictable routines help toddlers feel safe, secure, and better able to navigate these emotions. Now that we've explored the key milestones for children between 12 and 24 months, let's shift our focus to how we can best support them during this incredible time of growth. At this age, toddlers are becoming more mobile, curious, and eager to explore their world. That's why it's so important that the ways we interact with them, the environments we create, and the activities we plan are all developmentally appropriate. In this next section, we'll talk about developmentally appropriate practices that meet toddlers where they are, respect their unique pace of learning, and encourage healthy growth across all areas of development. Let's take a closer look at what DAP looks like in action for our busy, curious 1 to 2-year-olds. Safe exploration and independence. This is a busy, curious stage. Ensure the toddler's environment is safe for exploration. Rather than constantly saying no, set up spaces where you can say yes to touching and moving. Montessori principles encourage offering child-sized furniture and accessible toys so toddlers can practice independence. For example, a low stool to sit on, a small shelf with a few toys they can choose. Allow the child to practice new skills like climbing with supervision and to help with routines like throwing a napkin in the trash, getting their shoes to satisfy their desire for involvement. Encourage motor skills through play. Provide active play opportunities daily. Toddlers love to push and pull toys, roll balls, and dance or climb. Simple obstacle courses, pillows to climb over, tunnels to crawl through can channel their energy. For fine motor, give crayons and paper to scribble freely, stacking cups or blocks to build and knock down, and chunky puzzles or shape sorters to manipulate. Such activities build coordination and problem solving. Language-rich environment. Name objects and actions throughout the day to build vocabulary. Use short phrases and repeat frequently. Read books every day. Toddlers enjoy hearing the same story on repeat. Ask them to point to pictures, "Where's the cat?" and respond to their attempts to name things. Praise their ball, even if it sounds like ba. Expand on their speech. If they say dog, you can respond, "Yes, the dog is barking." This models more complex language in a natural way. Incorporate songs and simple rhymes. By 2, toddlers start to fill in words of familiar songs or rhymes. Social emotional support. Acknowledge toddlers' feelings and help them begin to learn self-regulation. For example, if a child is upset that playtime ended, calmly label the feeling, "I know, you are mad that we have to stop. It's hard to stop playing." Maintain consistent routines for meals, naps, and bedtime. Knowing what to expect helps toddlers feel secure during this sometimes anxious age. Offer choices to empower them, which also helps reduce power struggles. When possible, redirect unwanted behaviors by offering an alternative. For example, "We don't draw on the wall. Let's draw on paper instead." Praise positive behavior. "You picked up the toys. Great job helping." Toddlers love to please adults. Imitation and early learning. Toddlers learn by watching you. Be a good role model. Say please and thank you, and they will start to mimic. In group settings, a caregiver can narrate sharing or helping behaviors. "Look, Sarah is handing the toy to Juan. How kind," to encourage pro-social learning. Simple playdates or parallel play with one other child can gently introduce sharing and taking turns, though expecting true sharing at this age is usually unrealistic. Have duplicates of popular toys to minimize conflict. Between 1 and 2, children often experience a sensitive period for order. They may get upset by changes in routine or where things belong. Keeping a consistent environment and orderly routines can comfort them. Also, toddlers are developing independence in self-care. You can involve them in dressing. They can push arms through sleeves or put on a hat and hand washing. A Montessori approach would be to break tasks into small steps and allow the child to attempt them, offering help only as needed. "Help me do it by myself" is the toddler's mantra. This builds confidence and motor skills. Your role during this stage is so important. Even small, everyday actions can make a big difference in your toddler's growth and confidence. Here are some simple, practical tips you can use to support your 1 to 2-year-old's development at home. Read aloud daily. Offer simple choices to support decision-making and independence. Stick to consistent routines and encourage exploration. Every child grows and learns at their own pace, and small differences in development are often perfectly normal. However, sometimes early signs can tell us that a child might need a little extra support. It's not about labeling or rushing to worry. It's about making sure every child gets what they need to thrive. I'm going to share some signs to watch for between 1 and 2 years old. If you notice any of these, it's a good idea to talk with your child's doctor or a child development professional. Remember, early support can make a big difference, and seeking help is a positive step in giving your child the best start. You don't have to figure everything out alone. Explore trusted resources like the CDC Developmental Milestones checklists, Ages and Stages questionnaires, ASQ, your local early intervention program, and YouTube channel, Bright Beginnings at Home. Thank you so much for watching today's training. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future trainings, tips, and activities